staying with us. All right, we have snakes on set. There's little ones, big ones. Yeah. Apparently Joe just named it. We'll get to that. First, we want to introduce Dan. He's a former wildlife biologist with the U.S. Forest Service on the Cumberland Ranger District in the Red River Gorge. Now, he and his granddaughter, Tessa, are here to share their knowledge and passion for some of the state's most misunderstood and feared creatures. Oh yeah, we're talking reptiles. Thank you both for being here.
You're welcome.
All right.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of different species of snakes and reptiles that are here in Kentucky. What are the ones that we're most probably going to see if we're just kind of walking around a path or out hiking?
In the Red River Gorge, by far the most common snake is the copperhead. Oh. And for every 10 steps you take, you probably are passing one or two snakes.
Really?
So you never see them, rarely see them. And when you do, they're on the path and usually just crossing the path. But there's a lot of copperheads out there. That's not so bad because bites from copperheads are not fatal. They're painful but not fatal, and they rarely bite unless you harass them.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think you're making people feel any better by saying they're fairly fatal.
You don't bother them, they won't bother you.
That's right.
Well, other than copperheads, there's a lot of other snakes out there that aren't maybe as feared.
Right. There's the black king snake, which is relatively common, and it's actually a snake eater. It actually eats rattlesnakes and copperheads.
So we want these.
Yeah, well, we want all the snakes, but these, especially if they're around your house, you don't want to kill them because they hunt and eat other snakes. So
I think Joe named this guy.
Yeah, this is Martin Luther the Black King. Yeah, it's my favorite.
Did he have the name before you named him?
No, I think I gave him the name.
Yeah.
We're now best friends.
You have been walking around with Martin.
You're going to take him home with you, right?
Yeah, well, my wife would hate that. I'll tell you that now. So.
She doesn't want a king?
No, there's already enough black kingness in the house. Like, way too much.
Well, a guy like this, if we see them out in the wild, it's so tempting to kind of pick them up. Should we bother them?
No.
Okay.
It's best. There's 18 species of snakes in the Red River Gorge area and region. Only 2 are venomous. One is the rattlesnake is highly toxic, but not aggressive, and that's the good news. And most people that are bitten by venomous snakes, like rattlesnakes and copperheads, are trying to catch them, or they harass them, or they're trying to kill them.
Right.
So if you leave them alone, you're not going to be bitten.
Well,
if you see one, just back off, walk around it, and leave it alone.
So back away.
Back away.
Have you tried that out in the wild?
I've run into a few snakes on the trails out in Red River Gorge and Indian Fort down in Berea. And yeah, usually you just leave them alone. And they leave you alone.
It's good advice.
Just mind your business. That's all you do, people.
Well, let's talk about the difference between, a lot of people want to call them poisonous snakes, but they're venomous. What's the difference between the two?
That's a good question. Snakes are not poisonous, they're venomous. And the difference is if we drink poison, it can kill us. But if we ingest venom of snakes, which is a modified saliva, it won't hurt us unless we have an ulcer, an open cut. So it's only when it's injected under the skin that it becomes problematic because there's 2 types basically, neurotoxins and hemotoxins. But generally, snakes are again they're not poisonous, and that's a misconception. They're venomous. They have these modified salivary glands. They inject saliva or modified venom into the mouse or the animal that they're securing.
Sure, and venom is being used for a lot of scientific research now and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, these snakes and animals came from Jim and Kristen. I want to credit them for lending the animals, but they do a lot. They have a lot of venomous snakes at the Kentucky Reptile Zoo, and they milk these snakes for the venom research.
We're going down there next week to watch them do that. I'm
Awesome.
Super excited about that.
And they can tell you all about the research that they're doing with the
Yeah.
venoms.
Now, Tessa,
Really
you have some small little snakes with you. What are you working with?
This is a brown snake. It's one of the small snakes of Kentucky. And they eat beetles, earthworms, slugs, and snails.
And you have no fear of them, do you?
No.
Super cool.
She's wearing snakeskin. I think she's into it. She
Yeah,
is
I wish
with
we
it.
could show. She has a snakeskin around her neck.
Yeah, this is a black rat snakeskin.
It's impressive how much you know. Now, it's not just snakes that you all know. You brought something else for us
We
today.
did, yes. And here's
We
the
just
little
put
ring
him
next
down
to
there. All right. We have
brought-
another guy. I think he has a good name, too.
Yeah.
Happy.
Happy.
Yes.
What is Happy?
Happy is a snapping turtle,
Oh, man.
And this is a pretty good sized one. Happy was a pet and was given to the Reptile Zoo, and this is what they use in the programs now. But this animal is prehistoric. I mean, this thing lived and walked, swam with the dinosaurs, and it has changed a little in millions of years, which is pretty amazing. So what that tells us about the snapping turtle is the design of this animal is near perfect.
Right.
And so it hasn't needed to change or evolve. Its design has been very successful over time.
Now, he's pretty docile. Are they usually like that out in the wild?
No, if you pick up a snapping turtle,
You will get snapped on.
they will snap and bite, and they can reach around. So the best way to pick one up is by the tail, or always back here, because this head can come way around, like
Long necks, right?
to this long neck. The claws are kind of neat. They're, if you want to.
Oh, yeah. They almost, I mean, they
The
do
alligator
look
feet.
like dinosaurs.
Like,
Yeah.
almost like
They are
crocodile or
impressive.
alligator feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they have a small protection here. They're fleshy here. This is where they're.
I think you're tickling them.
Yeah, like you're tickling them. The tail. But the shell
It is happy.
here covers the entire animal.
Wow.
But unlike the box turtle, the eastern box turtle, this turtle cannot retract totally in its shell.